Mr. Funny, Mr. Waitball. Let's give him a round of applause.
Y'all so kind. Stop clapping, please.
Oh my God, folks. I'm going to try to get through this interview without laughing. This gentleman is so charismatic. He is so funny. He's such a really, really cool guy. So, folks, I met him when I was the black carpet host for an album release party, and he was a comedian on deck. And when I tell you, I laughed from beginning to end. We were on the carpet together, and I asked him if he was going to keep it PG. And what did you say?
Well, first off, I'm gonna say my memory not that great. Quoting myself directly months ago, but if you told me to keep it PG, I probably said bet that. Yes, we can do that. I specialize in clean comedy, so a lot of times people think of comedy and they automatically think of vulgarity, or they equate being funny with vulgarity, which sometimes the vulgarity can be funny. I'm not saying it's never funny, but it's not always necessary. So, I'm a right place at the right time type of comedian. I think we kept a PG. I might have told the line. I'm not saying no pearls didn't get clutched. We got some motherboard in the building. They're gonna clutch their pearls a little bit, but then after they clutch them, they're gonna be like, "Woo, okay, you did stop." Right before I was gonna walk out. And that's what I be doing. Right before they walk out.
Gotcha. So basically, you cater to your audience. If it's a family-friendly audience, then you keep it PG pretty much.
Yeah, so I put on clean shows that are meant for the family. So it's not gonna be accidental that you come in and it's a clean comedy show. I do a weekly clean comedy show right here where we are, Uptown Comedy Corner. But some other shows, sometimes you go and it's a family reunion, and they don't tell you that it's gonna be PG. Or you'll go and nowadays people let their kids listen to anything. So, if the kids listen to the radio, then they already more ratchet than I'm gonna be.
Oh yeah, and the internet and social media, it's all out there for 'em. It's all gonna take you, huh?
So, but when I come into a venue, even if the people didn't tell me we want you to keep it clean, if I see kids in the room, then I'm just gonna act accordingly, and we still gonna have fun.
Awesome, awesome. So back to that album release party. How do you feel about your performance at that event?
I had a great time. I had a great time. It was like a black tie affair. I would say one thing, I didn't quite dress in the black tie. When people book me for this black tie stuff and it's in the middle of the summertime and you can't even get your drawers on before you start sweating good. And I got to put on some bow tie and figure out how to tie on this stuff, then get back out and still be fly a little bit. So I had to be comfortable. I wasn't as black tie as everybody else. But I think we talked about it on stage, made it light up and had some fun.
We did.
The performance was top to bottom, it was, it was good. I felt like the
It really was
laughing
good.
the whole time.
It really was good. So, in case your memory doesn't serve you right, you said that the reason that you did not have a black tie was because yours was in the cleaners. Am I correct?
That could be. That's I say a lot of stuff. It's not all true. It's not all true. You know what I'm saying? When I go on stage, it be about 20% true, 80% embellishment.
No, I really thought that that was so timely. That was such a good comeback.
Well, the whole point is to always make it seem like it's spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you write the joke, I can't just tell every joke start to finish the same way. I got to set it up as a conversation with you. And then when I get to the punchline I want to get to, it's all like, oh, it was so brand new. And they were just talking about the day, and it just got crazy.
So one particular thing I remember as soon as you got on the stage, so the host had a white fro and a white beard. So for me, folks, I just saw a good-looking man. You saw Papa Smurf. Talk about that.
But it was a positive Papa Smurf.
A GQ Papa.
I said that Papa Smurf was in GQ magazine. So I have a way of roasting people without really roasting them. It's always a complimentary roast. So I gave him GQ magazine, but then I had to knock him down with the Papa Smurf. And I think it all worked out.
It did, and again, spontaneity is everything because, like I said, I saw one thing and you saw the funny in it.
Well, first off, I'm not attracted to men. Not men with white hair, not with long beard, not in a box with a fox. So that would be the separation, but I just didn't, you know. But bless your heart, you was all palpitating. He was dressed up, now he was suited up. GQ, brother, be fly. You know what I'm saying? I can see how you would be all hot bothered. Just that, you know, his manly guys don't work on me. So I still be looking for something funny to say.
Okay. Well, I think that delivery was right on time. Just like you just cue that up right away. You don't like men. I get that. All I was trying to say is we saw two different things. We saw the same person, but two different angles.
I agree. You still want to see more angles. You're like, what he look like from this way? Smart look like from this way.
We're definitely moving up. So there's no way for you to have pre-planned that because you hadn't seen him prior to the show, right? So tell me, I know you said there's spontaneity that comes and you just see a situation and you pull out the funny in it. So if you were to walk in the room and you saw two old ladies playing bingo, that's pretty normal, you know, they're a good game for older women, retired women. Set it up for me. How can you make that fun?
Well, you know, it's see what you want is not what you want is something that's kind of. I hear what you're saying.
That's what you want.
I would have to see the ladies. You know, sometimes.
I'm trying to set it up for you. Two ladies.
Two ladies playing bingo. Well, why on earth would just two people be playing? Have you ever seen bingo? It's like two people that have one person call the numbers. Then it's like 17 old ladies at least because they gambling. So first off, I'd be like, how y'all gonna get paid playing with just both of y'all? That ain't gonna work. It's got. I'm just saying your scenario is flawed. I'm just saying never in the life of old ladies in bingo have I ever just seen two of them.
Okay, we're in a room.
Hey, y'all seen bingo out
We're in a room. A bingo hall. We're focusing on two ladies.
Now you want a new joke? The two ladies wondering how they gonna make money playing each other. Who called the number? Now you gonna change the scenario and be like, redo the joke. Another joke. I'm just saying it's here. It's in there. How many ladies it is, it's gonna be something you can point out. It does take practice, you know, and it does take a level of faith to go out every show and not just tell new jokes. Like every joke is not new, but to be faithful enough to say I'm gonna speak out on words that are not planned. You know, like I know the jokes I want to say. Sooner or later, if I'm in front of people for an hour or 30 minutes or 20 minutes, I'm probably gonna joke about my weight a little bit. I'm gonna have to joke about me being a big guy somewhere in there, but it's still I don't want to jump out and be like, I'm the big guy. It's like, no, let's have a conversation about it and we'll just talk about everything. You gotta talk about the elephant in the room. If you are the elephant in the room, you can talk about it, but still just other stuff like me being dressed a little off or, you know, the host. It's just whatever you can kind of grab to, when I walk in the room before I go on stage, I try to just be there and be present. And what I see is like, okay, I can say something about that. And I might have 5 or 10 things that I can say before I start telling jokes. And a couple of them I will say until the crowd laugh. You know, if I can get a real big laugh before I ever have a planned joke, it's way easier to tell jokes after people laugh.
Get uncomfortable. Setting it up.
I try.
When did you discover that you were a funny person?
Well, I've always been conversationally funny, but I think at one point in growing up, because I got 2 older brothers, and my middle brother he's funny too, but he's funny in his own way. I think I would be more universally funny. He's more kind of quirky funny. But, you know, me and my brother, we could do the same thing. We would be at the same place. But to hear him tell the story and to hear me tell the story. I'm listening to him tell the story, and I'm like, you missing the point. I'm like, you what happened? You know, I'm like, you out of order. You just, you know, so I think part of it is I've always been a decent storyteller where I can tell the story, I can make it funny. So I think part of that is a lot of times just in friends and in having conversations, I would have an audience of people just listening to me tell a story about what happened that day and they dying laughing. You know, I think that's part of it. And realizing that I can tell a story better than some other people. You know, 2 people can live the same event, go through the same thing, and one of them can tell a story that make sense, and one of them tell a story that confuses you.
So when did you officially become a comedian?
Well, I'm coming up on 9 years.
Wow.
So it's been about 9 years ago. It'll be maybe, is it today? It gotta be.
Is it the
I'm gonna say it was July. I'm gonna say it's like
Okay.
July 20 something, 24th of July.
9 years in the business.
So it's been about 9 years, all since I moved to Atlanta. I'm from St. Louis originally, so I've been in Atlanta about 11 years and been doing comedy about 9 years.
Ooh. So where did the name Weight Ball come from?
Weight Ball. Well, it's an old name. You know, that was actually my name in high school. But you know, in high school, when you grow up, I've always been a big kid, you know. And, you know, I've never hid. So I've always been, you know, playing sports. I've always been in different crowds where I'm there. I'm not hiding and I'm the biggest guy.
You embraced yourself.
Right, so it's like weight ball was always, you know, you have a lot of names growing up, you know, some of them good, some of them bad. You know, I grew up with Nutty Professor, so Nutty P was one of my names growing up. I couldn't be Nutty Professor, but I could be Nutty P. They're like, hey, Nutty, you know, whatever, we're gonna make it a cool name, y'all gonna try to make it something derogatory. But weight ball was, you know, it was we all like that rapper 8 Ball at the time, but you know, you gotta do something different than him. So they was like, you ain't 8 Ball, you weight ball. Kind of had the same connotation. And then it fits, you know, I play pool. I'm not a pool shark or anything, but 8 Ball got a lot of connotations. We ain't gonna tell you all about the way the world used to be. We're doing better now. So, you know, now weight ball is just the actual exercise ball, you know, not the 3.5.
Okay, so I am told by sources that you are in a movie on Tubi.
Well, who sources? Who sources?
I got people who know people.
I'm glad somebody talked about it, because Lord, I'm tired of talking about it. But yes, I'm in the movie.
So tell us the name of that movie.
Can't Get Right is the name of the movie. You gotta spell right, R-I-T-E. So you can't spell right correctly. Yeah, whatever. Can't Get Right. I play Pastor Right. A fairly janky pastor. I've seen worse. But you know, he's not without blemish. But hey, what man is? A man of God or a man of the streets? Nobody's without blemish. You know, look to God.
Let me see if I can get this right. This is my money card.
Okay.
One for you, one for Jesus.
That's how I counted the offering in the movie. That's how I counted the offering in the movie.
Two for
I
me.
would pick up the offering, I'm like, one for me, one for Jesus. And we can go down the line and everybody get paid by the end of the service. We figured it out. But yeah, that was definitely one of the lines.
So tell us the concept of that movie. What is it really about? Without giving it away.
You know, without giving it away, it's kind of like if you blend the movie Lottery Ticket with every other Black Hood movie you can imagine. That's kind of what you get the mashup of. It's about a young guy who can't find his way in life. You know, he's full of mistakes. Always got a get rich quick scheme.
Just can't get
And
right.
he finds a bag of money. You know, but obviously any bag of money he finds is attached to somebody, right? So, you know, he has to deal with the consequence of whose money it is. And, you know, it's all about, you know, neighborhood connections and family connections. And, you know, relying on the people who really been loyal to him. And, you know, he knows who to really rely on in life. You know, everybody comes together and helps him out to actually, you know, figure it out.
So I know there are some fellow comedians in there. I believe I saw Rodney Perry.
Definitely. Rodney Perry's in the movie. Rest in peace, 30 South Pass since the movie finished. Who else is in that movie? We got Damon Williams, plays one of the star roles. He's a comedian out of Chicago. Rodney Perry as well. Squirt Go Live is another comedian, had a big role in it. Shawty Shawty is the main character. So what my name is, Shawty. And there's a lot of other comedians, don't, you know, forgive me if there's so many comedians and actors that came in this process.
Well, I think it's awesome.
Fredo Davis, that's another one. Fredo Davis, Dennis Clark, there's a lot of other people.
Well, I think it's awesome that you guys got together and collaborated and put in all of your comedic energy in one film. I think that's a great thing that you guys put together to do that. How did you pull all those responsible for that?
Well, Marcus, Marcus Head, he's a director, and he's working on a couple other projects. We also doing don't let me miss the name of it. I want to say it's called Live in Color, kind of like In Living Color, play on words, but it's definitely sketches with all comedic actors, comedians, kind of having fun. So he used to be a comedian, I believe, and maybe used to produce some comedy shows. So he has a connection with several comedians, especially those living in the Atlanta area. And I was just recommending maybe one of those comedians said, hey. I think it was actually Tim Murray, which is another comedian I did mention. Thank you, Tim, for the recommendation. Tim Murray was like, hey, it's a guy at Wake Ball that he might be good for this passing role. And it all worked out.
So, like you said earlier, there are a lot of comedians here in Atlanta. So you work with Rodney Perry, you name a few that's in this movie. Other than those folks, who are some of the other comedians that you work with in Atlanta?
Right. So first big ups to Rodney Perry, one of the first people who taken me on the road. It's been a while since I've been on the road with him. But Rodney, if you're looking, hey, I'm still out here, man. I carry bags and do big stuff. But Rodney Perry is a real good guy. He's definitely anybody if you ever ask somebody about Rodney Perry, they never have nothing negative to say if they do something wrong with them. Drew Thomas, another good friend of mine, one of my mentors. Drew's out of New York, but he lives here now, and he's touring in Vegas. He does a lot of cruise ships. I think he just got back from Alaska. J. Lee Thomas, another good friend of mine from St. Louis, is out there. Don D.C. Curry is probably the other mentors I have Friday. So I get some tour dates with him sometimes. Big concerts, when he got a tour date that's small enough for me, but still big enough for me, then he called me up.
Okay, so on that same vein, who are some comedians that you have not worked with that you love to partner with?
Well,
you want to go on the road with?
Right. So really, any comedian that's been doing it 20 or 30 years, I know I can learn something. So some of the people I see, like Bruce, Eddie Griffin, DL, any of the people I can learn from. Some of the people who
the OGs.
Right. Because my style of comedy is more of the older style than the newer kind of internet style. But I could go with anybody, maybe Cedric the Entertainer or something like that.
He's a really cool guy. I met him back in March. California, we went to the American Black Men Honors Award. He's a really nice guy.
And he's from St. Louis too. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Grew up in the same neighborhood, but sometimes that's a good reason for somebody not to mess with you. I don't know, you smoking all, you say, no, we got to just outsource. But I'm good people, man. I don't steal. You know what it is.
So on a personal level, are you married? Are you dating? Do you have any children?
Well, I'm divorced. So I was married 11 years, been free about 4 or 5 years.
Been free? It's like you got out of jail.
Well, if an unhappy marriage is a lot like being in jail. It's definitely a lot like being arrested. If you're in an unhappy relationship, you definitely have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Actually, that works in both a happy marriage and an unhappy marriage. Miranda rights still hold true. So I'm single. I date. I guess I would use that word loosely. I don't date with much intent right now. I'm focusing on the comedy career. So. I work a 40-hour-a-week job. I got a real career. I'm actually a doctor. So I'm Dr. Aaron Young during the daytime. Straight up scientist, environmental scientist. I'm saving lives for the government.
Okay.
Then after that, I'm still a full-time comedian. So after you do all of that, then the lady will be like, well, where you going today? I don't know what I'm going to do today. And when I try to explain to them, like, yeah, I got a job, and then I got a night career, and then I go volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club. So after the little way with children, you're going to come after them. And all of them people, and most women don't want to be hired in the whole world and the volunteer work.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
to that little place. But some women are okay for that small amount of space. Yeah, time, quality time, just ain't one of my love languages. I got words of affirmation. You know what I'm saying? I got what, a couple gifts, what's them others, 5 of them. It just ain't quality time. Acts of service, I'm good at that. It's like I take breakfast and tinker around, hang up some pictures or something, or you know, put the little foot on the bottom of the sofa, whatever. I can tinker. Just quality time, hard to. It be short. It be real short. So, but quality time is about everybody. It's up there for everybody. You know, we have fun. We go out, I go on dates and stuff. But people gotta be understanding that I'm not really trying to sidetrack everything I got going on with a focus on the relationship. And be like, this is my book. And then, you know, all of a sudden now I gotta answer to you about what I'm doing every day. I don't even know what I'm doing every day sometimes. I gotta look at the calendar and be like, that's what I got tonight. And to try to explain that to 2 other people, other than just me, myself, and I, to explain to me, myself, and I and her.
Okay, so if you were seriously interested in someone, what is your idea of a good date?
Well, I mean, most of them, if they don't let us, okay, let's keep it clean. Backtrack that. Right, if I come out my mouth, let's start off.
Just be honest.
Right, just be honest. You know, just somebody who's open with themselves, not really materialistic. I like to have fun. I mean, I like to go out to eat. I like to go do stuff, but I don't like to waste money. So, like, you know, you're only interested in name brands, or you just can't really be materialistic. You gotta like the simpler things in life. You have to be pretty now. You have to be pretty, but pretty is all in your mind. You know, my version of pretty might not be somebody else's version of pretty. I might just be like, look at them big old lips on that girl. Maybe they don't match her face. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else would be like, she look crazy, but I'm like, nah, I take it. Well, you know, it'd be like that big old nose. Like some people like, her nose too big. I'm like, that's a determined nose. Whatever she going. She into it, you know. So, I like people who like me. That's number one. If you about me and you're not super selfish, then I could be about you. But if it's all about you from the beginning, I just know I don't have that much time to devote to somebody who's all about me. You know. And then if I do all the stuff you want, jump through all the hoops, then what I got somebody I can't even get rid of now. And I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I really don't want you that much, but I'm gonna keep it moving. So,
Well, let me ask you this. Would you take your date to a comedy show?
I would probably try not. They can come to my shows if they want to come support. I don't usually bring them to comedy shows because then everybody at the comedy show might know me if I'm in my city, so they expect me to go on stage. Now I'm working, which, if she wants to see me work, I guess stage is one option, but I could work now. On stage once. But, I will, but most times I go to listen to live music. So my number one day spot is I got several people that I know that's either in a band or a band leader or different live music venues that I go to. I usually like to go listen to live music, let somebody else perform for me, have some drinks, have a good time. Maybe I like outdoors if it ain't too hot. I go scooter riding on I like to, like if I go out to eat, I'll taste something that I ain't never had before. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not ordering McDonald's and chicken nuggets and burgers. You got alligator tail, yeah, you got frog leg, what is that, octopus eyeballs? Give me some of them as long as they fried hard, I see what you do, so I kind of adventure that way. That sound like fun?
That sounds like fun.
My comedy shows can be fun too, I will, but most times, I just don't like all the comedians all in my business too.
You want to separate it, right?
Yeah.
Separation.
I have to go to work every day.
Right. So going on a date to a comedy show is like going to work. It could
For
be.
the most part, yeah.
So let's talk about some current events. same vein of talking about comedians, you are familiar with DC Youngblood. So recently, his partner, Jackie O, whose real name is Jacqueline Smith, passed away in Miami after undergoing a mummy makeover, I'm told. So I saw the funeral, live stream on YouTube. Did you see it?
I didn't. R.I.P. to the young lady.
Absolutely.
Condolences to DC Young Fly.
And family.
I didn't watch it. I saw clips, as you scroll, you see a couple clips of DC giving the eulogy.
Yeah.
For me, part of it is so televised that I kind of disagree with some of the way they tell. Not necessarily anybody individually, I think, just the way that, people can go to a funeral and then they just tape it, but they doing it for likes almost. Sometimes some of the stuff you see people do it for clout chasing versus do it for their condolences.
I think some people do it for those who cannot attend the services. So Jackie was a very famous and beautiful woman. So I think that they probably did it so that the fans could share in the services, and so they can feel they're a part of the morning services for her. I think it was very noble for DC to be able to stand there and give what I call a mini eulogy. I didn't think that I could have done that. He did a great job. But what it speaks to me is the fact that he is a God. He's a God that's a faith. He talked about that a lot, that he believes in God and he prays often and what have you. And so I believe that God got him through that because he made it a little bit comical, but at the same time you could feel that hurt, you could feel that pain that he was going through. So again, we send our condolences to the family and friends, DC and their 3 young children. Definitely, they're in our prayers. So I believe it was like a week or so after the funeral services, Netflix aired the comedy show of 85 South, which included DC and Carlos Miller and Chico Bean, yes. Did you see that?
So, unfortunately, I haven't watched it yet. I tried to pull it up, but the lady who Netflix I'm using, I don't know what Netflix cut off. I ain't pulled up in a minute. I need to call her and be like, hey, I thought we was better than that.
Come on to my house.
Come
Come on, I got
I don't know why she cut me off. I thought I was better.
It was really it's a funny show. Do you think that you're ready to deliver a Netflix comedy show?
So first off, yes, definitely say yes. Netflix, if you got some money, I'm one of the funniest people walking on earth, and I got a way of being funny that's universal. Now the 85 South show is a different type of comedy show. Mine is more traditional stand-up comedy. Theirs has more improv, a lot of crowd work.
Improv, yeah. It was actually
very
filmed in
little
Atlanta.
specific setup jokes.
Yeah, and they feed off each other and they feed off the audience. To me, I would think it would be a difficult thing to improv with 3 different comedians on stage and then you're doing it live. I would think that would be a very difficult thing to do, to make sure everyone's on the same page and people can get the butt of the jokes and what have you. I just think that would be very, very difficult. Can you handle that?
It is. I think, I think part of it is that they have a pattern, because I look at the 85 South show as like Wild 'N Out, uncensored. It's kind of like a Wild 'N Out uncut. So number one, if you love Wild 'N Out, you love Wild 'N Out. If it's not your style of comedy, then it's not your style of comedy. So it's hard to mesh those two. Me specifically, a lot of times improv, I'm more on the stand-up than improv. Now I do well at improv. Like I said, I kind of work on the fly on a lot of things. A lot of times, a lot of people ask me to come to their podcast and they'll say, this is one of the best podcasts we ever have, and it's not scripted. It's just that I'm conversationally funny. So I can point stuff out and have a quick answer that's also clever, not just a quick, ignorant answer. So I think I would thrive in that situation. I just personally, a lot of times I think comedians rely too much on crowd work, which just shows a lack of preparation. A lot of times crowd work requires you to talk negative. You got to find somebody to talk negative about.
Can I tell you, going to comedy shows I've been to many, I want to ever sit in the front row.
And a lot of people say that.
Oh,
A lot
you never
of people
said
say
the
that,
front row.
but that's just because they have been done wrong. And I'm gonna say personally, that's the wrong way to do it. Just like Papa Smurf. I was like, you Papa Smurf in the GQ magazine. So I'm still pumping my brother up. I'm not negative. I'm not saying Papa Smurf is horrible. You the leader of the Smurfs. And you in GQ magazine.
You
I'm
big
just saying.
Papa. You big Papa.
But it is funny. You know what I'm saying? So all of my, like, if somebody sitting in the front row, if I mess with you, it's like your little brother messing with you, and it's so positive, and it's a level of love and everything that I do that it's never, you know, the people now you can't, you're dealing with the public. You can't make everybody happy. That's one thing I know. You can't make everybody laugh, you can't make everybody happy. But in the scheme of things, most times, even the people that nobody else likes, for some reason like me, based on the way I interact with people, I'm very, I can really be a chameleon. Not that I won't call it acting fake. I just bite my tongue to get to where we going. You know, so if I can disagree without telling you I disagree. You know, I can walk away without burning a bridge. You know, so I think, you know, and sometimes the easiest thing to point out is not the best thing. So a lot of times, people do a lot of crowd work, they point out the easiest. You know, I see stuff.
You mentioned the obvious, right?
Right, like I see stuff online where, and social media is just like, they literally are laughing at people with no legs. Or somebody with no arms. But yeah, this person with no arms, they dancing and stuff, but I kind of choose not to laugh at people that's disfigured. You know what I'm saying? If I can avoid it. Now, if the disfigured person is pop locking, it's hard not to laugh sometimes if they're bringing it on themselves, but when it's other people that got two good legs or two good arms, and then they pointing and laughing at somebody without no legs, to me, that's not what I'm here for. I want to make somebody with no legs. Now, if I talk about them and laugh, it's not just going to be about having no legs. It's going to be something that's higher than that where they can't help but die laughing at the situation that's in it. But it's going to be deeper than just being legless or blind or, you know.
So are you involved in any charitable causes?
Definitely.
You mentioned the Boys and Girls earlier.
Right, so I have volunteered for the Boys and Girls Club. I did that for a couple years. It's been a minute. My charity of choice now that I deal a lot with is Lady T's Homeless Ministry. So as a lady, she has her own catering service, and she takes anything extra from catering and takes it into the streets. But even if she's not catering, she has a system now where she's just in the streets probably 2 to 3 times a week, hand to hand, giving directly to the homeless. She's feeding probably a few hundred homeless people every week, and you know, going to shelter. She really has a great heart, sweet lady. I know her personally, which helps to develop a relationship. You know, I'm kind of a germaphobe, so I don't really be out in the streets hand to hand with the homeless people. I listen to her stories and I donate money. You know,
Well, that's great. I have a nonprofit organization that I started a few years ago, I think back in 2016, I believe it was. One of the things that I did for my kids, I had 3 basketball teams, a cheerleading team, and a kickball team. And as a matter of fact, DC Young Fly did a football for me, an encouraging message. My boys were up for the championship for basketball game, and he sent a really, really nice message to them. We recorded and played for the kids, so they really, really enjoyed that.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy DC on Fly, man. Shout out to Coach here and Rick the House 14 on the basketball league. Look, I see y'all, man. Y'all turned up. Y'all won the championship. They messed up. You ain't called me to bring me to the game. But get what? Next season, I'm coming, man. Y'all stay down and congratulations. Fuck you, man.
So I, too, like to give back to the community. I like to deal with children because it's hard adulting. It's really hard adulting. So I like, I think my strong suit, I should say, would be in dealing with children. So
and dealing with adults is hard because, and you know, children, number one, children are adulting younger and younger. Right? They adulting at 12, less than that. So that's one thing. You know, sometimes children they still at a place where you can change their path, or you at least see a path that can be changed, or you see somebody who you can help. But like, you know, if you see a grown fool, don't let a grown fool be a grown fool. You're like, this is a 40-year-old man still living under his mama's roof. He ain't got no job. Where am I gonna start with you? You so far backwards, and you my age. Let me start somewhere younger, somebody who I can help out and kind of might have some sense.
I agree. So, it is now time for us to play a game. My game is STD.
I don't know about this game. I mean, I played the game before, but I'm done playing that game. That was way back as another like, sob story. That was the summer of, what was that, 2000? I think that was 2003 I played that game twice.
Is that right?
Twice in the same year. It was a tough year in St. Louis.
And did you get burned? Did you get burned?
There was something going around. I ain't gonna tell y'all my business, but it was something that they had medicine for. And it was just St. Louis was a tough year. It was hard in St. Louis back then. I don't even think that stuff. They ain't even got them diseases we had back in the day. He tried to tell the doctor about gonorrhea. They be like, there ain't no more gonorrhea. Gonorrhea like polio now or something. That was easy disease. You just go, you know what it is, they give you some medicine. You take a couple extra pills to your lady and be like, I'm sorry.
He finds it funny in everything, folks. STD stands for say it, trade it, or do it. Okay? That's
what it stands for today.
Yes.
Okay. Today's STD ain't yesterday's.
STD. Correct. So let me have to play this game.
Say it, transmit it.
Say it, trade it, or do it.
Transmit it, still trading, transmit it, same thing. They still close.
Basically, how we play this game is you're going to select a card, and you're going to respond to that card by saying what the question requires of you. If it's a question that you don't feel comfortable with, you can always trade it in, one free trade, and then you may select a card that will say do it, to do what that card says. Okay? Say it, trade it, because that's not hard.
You know what they asked me to do now? I ain't just gonna do anything. But this is a lot that I will. Something about you make me feel so comfortable with you. And so much that I would do. But I still got limits. I don't want you to think that I'm without limits now. So pull out your little game and play, but I just warning you.
Let's go!
You gon' have to do more than just you gon' have to do less when you tell mama you know how. So you gon' need to do more than just
Card. I'll pick the card. You got the one in the middle like you want me to have. I pick the one in the shoulder.
Okay. Read it out loud.
Listen, say, what's something most people don't know about you? Alright.
That's easy.
Yeah, I guess I can pick something like that. I guess most people don't know that I'm a doctor. You know, that I got a PhD. I work for the Center for Disease Control.
CDC.
I'm out here in these streets hard. Technically, you heard of like James Bond 007 working. I'm 008. That's what they don't know. I can't tell you everything 008 do, but 008 get to work from home. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got to be on the scene like James Bond 008 got some different perks. Get to work from home, clothing option. I do put on clothes those days I go to work, but I ain't got to. Some days I clock in butt naked, I just put the book over the camera. It's a beautiful thing, you know, it's just beautiful. Ain't a day go by that I don't do at least 2 loads of clothes and some dishes. I'm on the clock.
Okay. CDC is watching.
Right, they know, they tell you can do your laundry on lunch break. They know I take a lunch break, I can run a load of clothes. Like that.
You can cook dinner, everything, right?
But I can't, not on camera, I would say I do all that. I would say I just change, I know what's coming. But every now and then I do a whole beef brisket. I gotta be out there on the take 16 hours. I pull another card. 2 cards, I thought it was in 1 card. That was an easy card. But that's what's up. If you were given a get out of jail pass, who would you kill? That's a tough one. Because then if you catch me on camera saying this and then that man died tomorrow. I can't speak on that and then they die tomorrow, then I'm going to be a witness. I'm going to need an alibi.
You don't want to self-incriminate yourself, right?
I'm going to need an alibi, right? You know, I mean, I guess the people who deserve it, you know, I have a problem with, I don't know, I don't want to hate nobody enough to kill them. That's wrong to really say that and then speak it out there. But, you know, Zimmerman dude. He still be walking around, waving around the same pistol little Trayvon got popped with the way he, you know, he too bold.
He is living his best life.
Right, living his best life. And you know.
Took away someone else's life.
Right. I'm sure it's better people. I might can, you know, kill somebody. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of people, even the camera lady, what you do with it? I'm gonna let you live. But I'm just saying, he be getting up on my skin the way, you know, he's still kind of boastful. He out there. I feel like he should have already put a hit out on him. All these people got money. I mean, the money that P. Diddy found in one video put a hit out on him. Right? And I'm not saying I endorse it, but yeah, I'm saying I endorse it.
I got your back.
So if I had one, who would you kill? You could have asked who would I do. But then I might do something without killing. I might just do some wild little freaky stuff that nobody got to die. But if I got to get out of jail pass, I gotta kill somebody. I can't just be streaking. I can't just go streaking if I get out of jail pass. Well, I gotta kill you by it. And you bring the violence out of me.
I'm sorry.
I would normally go streaking if I had to get out of jail pass. That's what I would do. I go streaking or like somewhere nice, like Victoria's Secret, or, you know, Lenny's out. Nah. But if I had to kill somebody, you know who it is. There it is.
Okay, Mr. Bunny. Tell us how we can find you. What's your social media information?
I'm on social media. Instagram and Facebook is what I'm most popular on. Everything under weight ball. Instagram is spelled with one word, WEIGHTBALL. On Facebook, you can split it up in 2 words. And then I got a business page. If you just look up comedian weight ball, you'll see everything I do. I got some YouTube stuff out there. I do have a comedy album on all listening platforms. So it's old school. It's a whole album and it's good. Like I still listen to that album. I shot it before the pandemic. And the jokes are still, like some of the jokes you'll think happened after the pandemic because I talk about being a germaphobe and it holds true to what people going through. Great comedy album. I still listen to it and laugh today. And I listen to it sometimes before I go on stage because I'm like, I ain't told that joke in a long time and it actually fits the audience that I'm here with today. And you know, some stuff you just forget about in after years.
Are you TikToking these days?
So I'm not TikToking a lot. You know, I'm a creature of habit, and then I just got so many different jobs going on. I mean, I'm also like a homeowner. I rent out Airbnb houses. I own a couple of them. So between all the stuff I'm managing in my life, I ain't got time for one more album. You know, I'm very, like, if you watch me on Instagram, I post my videos. I mean, I post my shows and my videos and stuff, but it's not like a lot of layers. You've unveiled more layers of weight ball in this interview than I have in 10 years of Instagram posts.
Then I'll be expecting a check.
Well, you're gonna have to sell it to the movies or something. You know, that's gonna give you the check. You got the basis of it. It won't be directly from me, but you know, whenever you get the check, I just want a little small piece of it. So don't get the check for the funds. It'll be all right.
I really appreciate your time. You have been such a great guest. So fun, so charismatic.
Thank you. You're so sweet, sweetie.
Thank you.
Don't believe nothing they say about Miss Jen. Nothing. She is the sweetest little thing on earth.
We will. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, dear. It's been a pleasure. Oh, that's what we do. We blowing up. We the bomb. We the bomb out here.
Let us know a round of applause.
Standing ovation.